Our other big headline tonight, another storm is barreling our way. It's going to be here tomorrow. Leading our coverage, as always, our chief meteorologist, Jeff Ranieri. And Jeff, what's on tap and what's the timeline here?
Well, we are looking at a pretty strong round here of rain coming this weekend, but certainly some new developments to that timeline. You can see some areas of rain gathering just off to the north, and this is a very similar setup to what we experienced over the past couple of storms. We have the center of the storm developing just to the north, storm track moving over California, then this atmospheric river joining in to help to boost up our rain totals as we move through this weekend. But again, there is some updates to the timing. So as we roll through tomorrow, we're going to see scattered areas of rain develop throughout the Bay Area. I think through the afternoon, we're going to be just fine. But then as we head into tomorrow night, specifically around 9 p.m., you can see those heavy downpours from the North Bay to the South Bay. So 9 p.m. into about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, we're going to be into those heavy downpours. And here's the other new thing. We'll likely undergo a break here as we head through Sunday morning, also the midday. So when it comes to this storm system, again, those changes will allow a break to come for Sunday's forecast. But we are watching the Russian River at Guerneville. Tomorrow, it's 21.8 feet. Expected to go near flood stage by next Tuesday. 38.2 feet. Again, that could take it near major flood stage next Tuesday. So that's going to be one to watch. Raj.
Okay, Jeff, thank you. Now, really, this entire day has been crunch time. City crews and residents across the Bay Area addressing problems before that rain returns. Let's bring in NBC Bay Area's Alyssa Goard, who joins us from San Francisco this evening with the very latest. Alyssa.
Raj, so many people that we spoke with today are feeling a lot of anxiety. We're talking about businesses, residents, and public agencies who've just worked the whole day trying to clean up from the last atmospheric river, and now they're feeling dread in anticipation of what the next one might bring.
That's the mud that's slid down.
Rachel Abrams lives right next to San Francisco's Twin Peaks Park.
You can still see water coming down.
On January 3rd, she noticed mud sliding down the hill onto the street and towards her house. She's been following the trickling water up the trail to Twin Peaks and says the mud has gotten worse.
And people use this hiking trail all the time.
Here's a look in the daytime. She reported it to the city, but says she hasn't heard anything since. With more rain on the way, she's worried.
My daughter's bedroom is right behind my garage right now, and I'm like, maybe I'll have her sleep upstairs.
As another storm approaches, PG&E says 14,000 people in the Bay Area are still without power, like this Redwood City man who has been in the dark since early Thursday morning.
It's been out since then. They keep promising, so we'll just keep our fingers crossed.
Also in San Mateo County, this road has been shut down due to a mudslide, and CHP says cars tried to drive on the road anyway and then got stuck in the mud.
Somebody tried it, and it was a bad idea.
San Francisco Department of Public Works tells us they're expecting mudslides during the next batch of rain, just not necessarily in the spot Rachel is concerned with. The department says they've had engineers out to check this spot in the last couple of days, and they'll be back out again on Saturday.
I'm very worried about my property and safety of people in the area.
And San Francisco Department of Public Works says if you spot an issue like a clogged drain, you can report it to them through 311. But if you see an issue that poses an immediate threat to safety, they're urging you to call 911. Live in San Francisco, Alyssa Goard, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, Alyssa, thank you. A state of emergency now in Capitola. Tonight, in a special meeting, the city council voted unanimously to declare a local emergency because of the storm damage, including the wharf, which was literally, you see it here, split in two. Many homes and well-known businesses near the beach now red tagged, meaning they are no longer safe to enter. Public Works crews cleaned up mud and debris during today's break in the weather. They're also monitoring erosion. Police officers are patrolling the evacuation zone, and the mayor had an optimistic message.
We've had no injuries, nothing like that. I know there is huge devastation, but I am a firm believer of trying to look at some silver linings, even when it's really hard to do so.
It is very hard for so many people in Capitola and the business owners there as well. The emergency declaration will allow this beach town to ask for state and federal funds. In the North Bay now, the communities along the Russian River are preparing for something that they're familiar with. We're talking about the flooding. The river is expected to flood early next week. NBC Bay Area's Jodi Hernandez reports from Monte Rio.
The problem here that we're having is we have had no break in the rain. And when you don't get a day off, the water just builds and builds. So, like our anxiety.
Mo McElroy is doing her best to stay calm and positive as the Russian River rages and rises in her Guerneville backyard.
In my house, personally, I've been here since 1999. I feel pretty comfortable in the 30s. When it starts to get to the high 30s, I start going like this, and then I start crying when it gets in the 40s. So it's kind of like that. I'm not crying right now.
The river level has gone up significantly in the last few days and is currently forecast to hit flood stage 32 feet sometime Monday night. The parking lot at Johnson's Beach in Guerneville is already underwater.
I've been here 30 years, and in 95 I lost everything in a flood. In 97 I lost everything in a flood.
Deborah Johnson owns and runs the River Lane Resort along the water. She knows precisely what to do and isn't feeling panicked at all.
Once you get educated and things are marked, you kind of can totally have a plan. When it gets to this marker, we do this. When it gets to this marker, we do this. And so then you don't have to worry, right? Because you have the plan. It's all about planning.
We're in an evacuation warning zone right now, over there in most of the area right now. So just trying to decide if I'll have to go somewhere else because I don't want to get flooded in with my dogs.
Noelle Loringer describes the mood as one of nervous excitement as her community prepares for what could be the biggest flood event in 4 years.
It's a crazy but exciting kind of disaster movie sensation.
It's definitely a scene this community has seen time and time again, but folks here are confident they'll get through this episode. In Monte Rio, I'm Jodi Hernandez, NBC Bay Area News.
Jodi, thank you. Not a good time now to head to Lake Tahoe. The Sierra is under a winter storm warning. In fact, that goes into effect early tomorrow and ends Monday morning. You do see some traffic getting through right now. This winter storm warning includes greater Lake Tahoe area all the way to Mono County. The National Weather Service is advising people to avoid the area or prepare for long delays. Bring an emergency kit with food, water, and clothing. Back here at home, Niles Canyon Road is still closed tonight. The road, which is also Highway 84, is shut down between Fremont and Sunol as crews, you can see them there, clear the debris. The stretch of highway has had problems with rock and mudslides during our past storms. It's expected to remain closed for another week. Well, before the rain falls or hail or whatever's coming our way, we'll let you know. Just download our free NBC Bay Area app to get alerts sent right to your phone minutes before it starts to rain in your neighborhood. You can also see our live radar. It's a great resource, especially during weather like this.